Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Taurus, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Chariot card. So in a lot of ways, this is you driving forward. Now, remember, sometimes with the Chariot card, we are being asked to slow down because it can be sort of like that pride before a fall energy. And remember as well, its opposite is the Tower. So what this kind of suggests is take the steady path. Even if that means you have to get there a little bit slower, it doesn't mean that you should, it doesn't mean that you're stopping your journey. That being said, obviously this is eclipse week for you. If you are celebrating this week, happy damn birthday to you. I truly hope you have a wonderful solar return. I really, really do. And remember to fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything that you want this whole year ahead to have in it for you. If you are having that powerful solar eclipse on your birthday, this is a big deal for you. And I gotta say, I'm here for this eclipse. Out of all of them, out of all four, like you can see it in the smile, right? I don't know, just when I was looking at all four of them last year, I was like, yeah, this one looks like it could be a little bit of that. So I think this is going to be great for you guys. That Chariot card, however, is really saying to you that the best way that you get ahead this week is being direct in your focus and being steady on your feet. All right, this is something that you do very well. You are very steady in your approach to things. The Chariot card is basically saying this week you can't lose providing you don't get reckless. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you've got the Six of Pentacles. So in a lot of ways, I mean, especially with the Chariot card, you're having I almost want to say it's almost like this week you're having a powerful idea or realization about your strongest path and who is actually helping you to get to where it is that you want to be. That Six of Pentacles is going to see you really paying attention to the interactions that you're having with people, especially on a transactional sort of nature. Now, everything in life is to a degree transactional, right? And so this week I kind of feel like you're going to be looking at whether this is helping you or hindering you. The other thing is, this could be a powerful moment of realizing where you can be a benefactor for other people. It doesn't have to do with money all the time, but this could be where your help, your support are required in a specific area of somebody else's life, and where you can meet those requirements. It looks like you're doing a lot this week to kind of say, okay, you know what, while I'm growing and flourishing and doing all of this, I can help you in this area. Ultimately, the other thing that I often say about this card as well, it has an element of karmic debt about it. So this could be where you're clearing some of your own karmic debt this week by assisting somebody else with something that they're, maybe struggling with or challenged with. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Seven of Swords. So interesting because the Chariot card is number 7 as well. So 2 sevens represents news, but the Seven of Swords in the communications this week, whatever news does reach your ears, don't buy into it. Like, whatever is said to you this week, take it with a pinch of salt until you actually see that whatever somebody is saying to you is, law, or you absolutely know, yes, like this person's gonna, do you know what I mean? Like you got to be really, really sure this week. And I would say that the only way that you're going to be able to do that is, through your own eyes and ears. Don't take anything at face value. Take it all with a pinch of salt. And then when you have the facts or you are clear or sure, then you can move ahead. For those of you that are studying or in any form of academia at this moment in time, that Seven of Swords, especially with the Chariot card, this is kind of like this week, again, slow down, take a minute, because you could kind of run with an idea, or maybe you hear something and you formulate like your whole sort of this week's assignment around something and then you're like, oh my God, it's the completely wrong question. Like, pay attention to this, because you might see something this week that really just is very, very far outside of, or very different to what was actually meant or intended, or what was really asked of you. It's like, you know, that thing where you hear something said to you and then you're like, oh, okay. And then when you go back and say it, they're like, no, I didn't say that at all. What I actually said was this, this, and this. It's kind of like that, you know, everybody's got song lyrics from when they were younger that when you hear them now, you're like, I didn't know it was that. You know, when you go and check out the lyrics and you're like, oh, I always used to say this. This could be one of these weeks for misunderstandings. When it comes to your, those of you that are employed by somebody else, your progress will be, no, I don't want to put that out there for you. Your progress could be, or may be, threatened by somebody that doesn't like seeing you progress so quickly. And so this week I would watch out about what you say and who you say it to. Just be conscious of that. It's the same for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, people that work for themselves. If you have some good news show up for you this week, or something happens, keep it to yourself. This is a week to be very selective about who you share your blessings with, all right? And then for those of you that are retired and no longer working, I kind of feel this week you may discover a lie or uncover one. And this could be for all of you in some way, shape or form. But for those of you that this could be in the family, it could be in the social circle. It's like you discover something that isn't quite how it's supposed to be or what it's being sold to be. And it's like, okay, I've got two options here. You know, sometimes you can sort of bite your tongue and say nothing and just let it slide, or you can say something and open up the can of worms. Whichever way you go, it's completely up to you, but I just want to give you that heads up. For your love and relations, you've got the 9 of Pentacles. This is really lovely, actually, because the relationship this week, even with that 7 of Swords, especially for those of you that are getting past challenges or issues that have sort of revolved around lies or deceit or anything like that, this suggests that there is a healing balm and salve there. And it suggests that for those of you that have had issues in a relationship, you're able to let it go this week. Like, it could be that some of you are just kind of like, you have a realization that actually, you know what, yeah, all right, this sucked and it wasn't the greatest experience, but actually I can let this go. And I think we are both on the same page now. When it comes to those of you that are single, this is one of those weeks where someone could try to set you up and the person could be great, but it's like, you know, like, I don't know if you've ever had this happen. You know, you go on a date with someone and you realize instantly, this is not the person for me. I'm probably not the person for them, but I want to be polite. If you immediately feel that, because you've got this 7 of Swords, if you dig into the lie and you're like, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm really happy to be here, and actually I think we've got loads in cut, don't do it. Just say, like, I don't really think this is right. Yeah, they've set us up, and you know what, I'm really glad to meet you, friends. You know, if you approach it like that, you may actually end up having a friend for life. If you dig into the lie, it could get really uncomfortable really quickly, so watch out for that. For your money and materials, you have the 8 of Swords. Okay, so what do we see here? Very interesting phenomena. 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, they're not in a complete order, but this definitely suggests something is speeding up for you guys this week, right? There's a clear sort of pattern of evolution. So this tells me that there is some sort of big dynamic universal flow in flux, let's say, or in motion. The fact that you've got this underneath the Chariot card, when it comes to your money, materials and your finances, you're like, this would not be a week to tie yourself to anything or anyone financially, all right? That's the thing that I really want to say to you right now. This is a week for freedom and autonomy when it comes to your money and your resources. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is an interesting card to have for health, just because sometimes it can represent sort of having a tough time of it in here, but other times it can represent, you know, certainly on a physical level, this would be your upper extremities, so this whole sort of area, hands, fingers, arms, you know, all of that, and even your ENT, like ears, nose and throat, and or your chest as well. If you've got anything like that, obviously go and check in with a doctor. I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but if you do have any challenges, that may be where it comes from. I kind of feel though with that Seven of Swords there, it's almost like maybe it's like, you know, sometimes when you have a pain, like a few weeks ago, you guys know I was out. I actually had a problem with my back, and I'd had it adjusted, and then I think it was like the after effects, but once I'd had those adjustments, I had a moment where I felt something ping in my back, and for a split second, like literally when I breathed deeply, I could feel it here in my chest, and like my first initial reaction was, is it the heart? Is it the lungs? Is this it? Are we out? Like, you know, you have a real moment where you do really freak out. This could be something like that, but it could turn, so, you know, maybe you think, oh my gosh, I got a heart problem, and then you go to the doctor and they say, actually, you've just, you know, you had an asthma attack. This is not the week to convince yourself of, you know, don't read the internet, just go to the doctor if you have anything. Now, when it comes to your home and environment, it looks like some of you are homebound this week. I don't know why, but it looks like you are stuck or staying wherever you are, which is very interesting because the Chariot is a card of travel, and it looks like some of you may have travel plans, but they may not go ahead for you. So it will be interesting to see how this shows up and, you know, what kind of comes about with it. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Don't worry, there will be an eclipse special video, so I'm not mentioning eclipses in these videos just because I'll be talking about that at length. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon.